Tomorrow ain't fucking promised, okay? So now is the time to take action. Stop sitting back and allowing motherfuckers to satisfy you. If you unsatisfied at the moment, you need to reverse that shit ASAP. No Rocky. Because if you ain't rocking, then of course, ain't nothing gonna be rolling into your perspective. Your mountains is gonna be weak. Your nature is gonna be soft. Your nature is gonna dry up like the crops. And of course, if you not creating your own crops and allowing and relying on the motherfucker and come create crops for you, the motherfucker, you are a consumer. And you know what they got for all consumers right now? They got that pouch, that shit that'll take you out right now. And of course, they looking forward for you to basically be a fool. Who the fuck told you had to go see a motherfucking doctor? Be your own fucking doctor. Know who the fuck you are first. Stop getting yourself practice witchcraft form by looking at shit outside of you. You supposed to be looking inside of you. Why are you getting worried and concerned about shit that's going out in the world? Fuck this world. Straight up, this world is weak and pussy. A lot of sheep, a lot of soft motherfuckers in this world. You gotta learn how to take your power back in this world. And of course, your power relies within you. If you ain't got the power within you, then of course, this is the term of imagination, creativity, belief. You gotta add these three together. Because of course, if you got a 30 and another 30, that's 60. And of course, that's a sextile. Then when you add another 30, that's a trine, that's a gift. And of course, a lot of motherfuckers have gifts. But of course, they gifts go on shit that don't really condemn for themselves. They lose their gift. They give their purpose away. They give their power away. And of course, if you're giving your power away, you got a problem on your hands that you can't deal with. And of course, the truth always relies in you. So if you're looking externally, then of course, ain't shit gonna work for you. You're supposed to experience life. And of course, create your own experience on how you want to see and dictate this shit versus allowing a motherfucker to dictate or dictatorship your motherfucking life or your career or your status. Motherfuckers just walking around here scared, pussy, weak, with a fucking pamper and diaper on their face. Not even taking their power back. Believing everything they motherfuckers say. Listen, the time is now. You ready to start that damn business? You start it now. And don't wait on anything else. Don't rely on anything else. Rely on yourself. When you rely on yourself, you create children. Children that's gonna basically go with you. Children, not children of the corn. Actually, yeah, the children of the corn. See, if you creating the right children inside of you, they're gonna grow some crops all around. And of course, anybody that's basically coming to take away some corn and shit, your kids gonna kill them motherfuckers. Why? Because you trained your kids very well. You trained your mind very well. You trained your feelings and emotions very motherfucking well. So if anything that's out here trying to stop that shit, it's gonna get rectified, crucified, and of course, people, places, and things get crucified right now for believing in shit instead of themselves. And of course, if you don't believe in yourselves, your cell's not gonna work for you. Your cell's gonna be artificial. And of course, if you are artificial intelligent, then that means you're lost into your brain and you're a reincarnated vessel. And of course, they got a place for all these bastards, all these demons, and of course, all your desires. Your desires is locked in a cell with you. And of course, you can't get out that cell because you don't know how to lose your desires. You don't know how to reverse your desires. So of course, you get lost into your desires, which is a lie. You lie to yourself every day. And of course, these lies that you tell yourself, you can get lost into these lies, lost into the illusion. And of course, when you get lost into the illusion, motherfucker, you ain't got no fuse. You ain't got no fire with you. Because your fire, your spark, has basically went out. It got dark. You can't see a spark no more. Why? Because you're lost in the motherfucking light. Feel me? Your internal light, your internal fire is basically reminiscing. And of course, you don't want to be reminiscing. You want to make sure you're moving. And of course, making sure you're moving up higher and higher. And of course, it gets higher to the scales. There's no firmament. Of course, there's no firmament around your mind or your mentality. So of course, you need to lose yourself from any firmaments that they're trying to basically put on your mentality. For me, the mind can expand. And of course, if you ain't ready to expand, the motherfucker, you do not have a plan or a goal. And of course, your goal is not going to get you nowhere because you're not creating a goal. You're not creating steps. You're not creating the floors. You're not creating a foundation. Feel me? You're getting found, and of course, they're throwing dates on you to basically participate in their shit. And of course, your expressions and the energy you give to yourself, you're not giving no energy to yourself. You're not focusing on yourself. You're not even making things work. You're making matters worse by basically putting your fire and putting your flame on other shit. Feel me? And of course, if you keep doing this shit, your flame, your fire is going to be compromised. You ain't going to have no passions, no motivation, no energy to strive to basically do what you want to motherfucking do. So now you trapped yourself. You ain't got no heart. You a pussy. You weak. You a sucker. And of course, you's a dumb motherfucker because you put all your passions and motivations towards shit that ain't really truly matter. Now you got to go get your fucking power back. Feel me? And of course, that takes time. And how much time are you going to put into that shit to get your fucking power back? Because remember, wherever the mind goes, your kids and your vessels is going to follow. So, of course, this is the whole purpose of loving and nurturing and caring for your motherfucking selves and yourselves, your kids, your children, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your energies. And, of course, if you're not connecting the dots like Connect 4, then, of course, you won't be able to actually add on. You will keep losing. You will become red. You will become black. You will become this. You will become that. And of course, you keep switching the turns. Learn how to basically stick with one color. And of course, get through that motherfucking bridge. You keep switching colors and switching lanes. Somebody gonna slap your shit. You're not sure about yourself. You're very confused. And of course, this is losing you and losing yourself on all tasks. You need to stay on task. You need to stay on the grind. Of course, this way you can be able to shine. And of course, you'll be able to leave an example of what it is to do and what it is to not do. But of course, if you don't know how to do you and get with the shit and get with the program that you program and not being programmed by somebody else's program, the motherfucker, you will be able to actually see the fruitations, basically explore and come into your perspective. But motherfucker, don't get lost out here. It's a whole lot of festivals, a whole lot of fucking groups, a whole lot of people out here that's blind to you. And of course, they're willing to basically do this with no hearts. And of course, these people ain't got no heart. These people clones. And of course, you don't want to be a clone. You don't want to be a sheep. For me, just because I'm wearing the color don't mean I'm a sheep. You create your own color, create your own meaning, create your own reasons. And of course, you can reason right, you can grow well. And of course, anything that you're basically using won't be a motherfucking gun, a Russian relate to you. Of course, if you know how to Russian relate within yourself and create things to go and make sure that bullet is going towards what you need to transform, the Russian relate won't basically kill you and basically get you out of tax. And of course, you're always going to get taxed out here. But of course, are you willing to basically follow your own little lead, or follow somebody else's own little lead? Because of course, we got to start somewhere small. At times, it's going to be able to expand those damn stations. And of course, if you keep playing on the goddamn PlayStation, then of course you're just going to be a station that's being played. And you ain't getting none out of that shit. You ain't basically playing the station right. You ain't receiving nothing from the station. So of course, the station is going to take you over. You're going to be riding somebody else's train station, traveling and shit. And you spend too much time focusing on bullshit. You wasn't focusing on the right shit to create your own motherfucking jet, your own JetBlue. Yes, your own jet, your own flight. And of course, if you're not flying or flighting, then you won't be the person that's moving and maneuvering around the motherfucking world. You gotta wait. Who wanna wait? You wanna have your shit ready and prepared. So of course, this way when things go in your perspective and when you have shit basically going on, you could basically get in your jet and move around. You don't gotta wait around, sitting around. Of course, you wanna be on top of each other. That's gonna create friction. That's gonna create problems. That's gonna create competition. But of course, who loves some competition? We all do. Some people basically can't handle the competition. Some people can't handle the funk. So of course, they go hide in their cage. Don't hide. Face your fears. Of course, when you face your fears, you get to expand. You learn. You go through the experiences. And it ain't turmoil. As the turmoil gets flipped over, you created your own experiences, your own insight, your own ways of going in and having sight and having vision. And of course, the visions gonna have some collision sometimes because of course you're traveling and you're moving in certain areas and circumferences. So when you're in certain vortexes and certain areas and certain arenas, it's gonna be some goddamn museums. It's gonna be some animals. There's gonna be some bugs. There's gonna be some trees. There's gonna be some museums. Of course, there's gonna be some integrants going on. So of course, we're gonna keep flowing and going on. We ain't gonna stop just because these motherfuckers in the way. No, you gotta learn how to do your twist of fate, like the Hardy brothers. And of course, those are two boys that can jump. And of course, if you ain't ready to jump, How you gonna be able to actually get through the funk? Now, of course, this is the whole purpose of having your own status, your own career, your own business. And of course, if you ain't building that business like a tourist with a fixed mind, a fixed mentality, you're all mutable and shit, you're fucking up the elements. And of course, the elements is not gonna help you because you don't know what you want. You don't know if you want to crystallize this brick. You don't know if you want to play with this brick. You don't know what you want to do. Sometimes you gotta know that there's a time to be cardinal. There's a time to create newness. There's a time to be fixed. There's a time to get stable. There's a time to move around. There's a time to be aware, and there's a time to get serious. So which one it is? It can't be the motherfucking fool. Can't be the Curious George out here. Because of course, you know, R.I.P. to my man Joey Floyd. But of course, this is a circumstance situation where that you have to be focused and situated on what you're basically trying to manifest in this life. So if you're unsure about your life right now, look your ass in the motherfucking mirror. And of course, we ain't talking about the bathroom mirrors. We're talking about the real mirror, the internal mirror. Feel me? Whichever best basically suits your purpose. Because of course, you got a purpose in this motherfucking world. So you got to make sure you fight for your motherfucking purpose. Don't allow somebody to basically compromise your purpose and tell you what to do and what not to do. Now you got to pacify in your mouth. Now you think you're brave by following these motherfuckers. But these motherfuckers leading you down the specs. And you don't know this shit. You don't have no intuition. Of course, you ain't got an intuition. That means you're stuck into this world with this damn firmament on your head. Firm, yeah, very strong, very hard. And of course, your firmament, your mentalities is getting fucked by somebody that's controlling you. They busting nuts in your brains, creating children into your mind. You ain't got your own mind. You ain't creating your own bus. You ain't creating your own brains. You ain't creating your own brain mechanisms, brain and nigga. So of course you're a nigga brain, which means you're just following the pack, following the resources that was basically given to you. You're not trying to come up with your own way of coming up how you can create your own resources. Imagination is key. When you got an imagination, nothing will work into your surroundings. And of course, wherever you're surrounded by, you could be surrounded by snakes. You could be surrounded by all kind of entities. And of course, you got to undergo these situations. You got to put people to basically test sometimes in your world, in your realm of reality. And of course, you got to always be aware of who you stand with or who stands next to you. Because of course, not everybody going to be ready to basically go down that trip or ride or slide. For me, everybody going to be ready to slide. But when they get slid on, they wasn't prepared either. You got to always be prepared no matter what the circumstance situation is. Look at tomorrow like you're going to be successful. Even if you may not see it today, act out on those energies, act out in those places, act out in those scenarios so you can actually accumulate and of course come up with new ways and new patterns to basically experience this shit. Because if you ain't experiencing, how the fuck is you going to be moving around? You're going to be stuck in one shell, one egg, and of course your mother, aka the bird, is going to be sitting on top of you waiting for your ass to come out to pop. Feel me? No, you're going to be able to actually pop and not have mama waiting around. You want to basically be able to wait and build and within and basically get your wings so you can start flying around. Of course, experiencing. Because if you ain't experiencing, you know, what's the whole purpose of you basically being an experiment into this world? A lot of people are experiments. A lot of people ain't got their mind. A lot of people ain't got their souls. A lot of people's souls is basically being marinated like mayonnaise, mayo, and of course, getting bread sliced. And of course, they're going to eat you up like Swiss cheese and honey glaze. You motherfuckers is turkeys. Don't allow these motherfuckers to treat you like Thanksgiving turkey. Learn how to basically create your own turkey, create your own tables, create your own narratives. And of course, don't follow the narrative. Be your own director. Be your own movie star. Create your own scenarios. Create your own stop and go. And not be out here being stopped and frisked. Talking about some, oh, you can't come in here if you ain't got this. You got to pretty much look into yourself and figure out which route you're going to take. Everybody's route ain't the same. Everybody have their own difference. But of course, you got to leave the nest one day. And of course, it's going to happen one way, someday. But of course, if you ain't putting in the work, how you going to basically have funds that day? How you going to get shit flowing? How you going to have the growth if you ain't putting in the work? And of course, the internal work is important. So of course, know your worth and know who you are before you basically try to be out here representing a star that you ain't. And of course, your stars is your children within you. You are a star. But of course, what stars are you creating? What example is you leaving your motherfucking children? So look in the motherfucking mirror. Freedom is key. Your purpose is key. So don't be unsure about yourself. Know what you want. Know what you're worth. And of course, think big. A lot of motherfuckers be thinking on the grass. Yeah, you're going to become a bug and you're going to get walked on in the grass. Motherfuckers gonna cut your grass. Motherfuckers gonna cut your land when you motherfucking eat that grass. So pick and choose which route you're gonna motherfucking take. Because of course, everything is at stake. And your life is at stake. So don't waste time.